truth of the word and reaching the youth. Saving souls of the old, doing God's work with more to do. And he turning up every week and get lit. Making it church on Sunday, you can tune in and get your fix. Turn up, turn up, turn up. It's that weekly turn up, turn up, turn up. It's that weekly turn up, turn up, turn up. It's that weekly turn up, turn up, turn up.
There's a gentleman by the name of Mr. Richard Arvin Overton. He was America's oldest living veteran, having served in World War II. Mr. Overton, he died right before the pandemic hit at the right young age of 112 years old. Mr. Overton, he said something that I feel is very apropos for this sermon series that we're going to be discussing in these next few weeks. He said, I've seen a lot of living. He said, and I don't understand why it is that God has blessed me the way that he has. But he said, one thing that I do know, I may give out, but I will never give up. And I believe, brothers and sisters, that it is that same never surrender spirit that Mr. Overton had in his physical body that Jesus wants us to have in his spiritual body, and that is the church. That no matter what it is that comes our way, we have decided in our mind that we're never going to give up. The winds may blow, the storms may come, but we have resolved in our mind that we're not going to give up. It is the most difficult thing that I've experienced in ministry, to walk into a room, someone who's just faced tragedy in their life, someone who is taking care of their sick mother or grandmother. It's the most difficult thing I've ever done in ministry is to walk into that room, look into their eyes, and they look at me for answers. The most difficult thing that I've ever experienced in my life is to go into a sick room where somebody's mother, somebody's son, somebody's daughter is dying from cancer or some other ailment, and they look at me with tears in their eyes and they ask the probing question to my soul, preacher, why me? And oftentimes it's a bitter pill to swallow when I have to tell them that sometimes our troubles are God's opportunities. I've lived long enough to know, when I was in my teens, I didn't understand it. When I was in my 20s, I didn't understand it as much. When I hit 30s, I went through some things, but I still didn't get it. When I hit my 40s, I still didn't really get it. But when I hit 50, I saw something. That some of the troubles that we experience in life are part of the original design. The blueprint of your life will show that you were created with certain abilities to overcome adversity. But when you go through the pressures of life, if you haven't been there yet, just keep on living. Just keep living. But when you go through the pressure of life, pressure comes to reveal what's on the inside of you. That is why if your haters knew what they were doing to you, they would leave you alone. Because they think that the pressure that they're giving on the outside is going to make you quit. When in actuality, the pressure is making you discover something about yourself that you didn't even know that you had. Is there anybody in here that's ever been through any pressure, but it helps you discover something about yourself? So, although that sickness attacked my body, which I saw, but it taught me how to take care of my temple. I wish I had somebody. So I don't want you to lose your praise because of what's going on in your life. And some of you came in this sacred place called Sanctuary this morning, and you didn't give God the shout that he deserved because of the stuff that you're carrying. Don't you let the devil steal your praise. Don't you let the devil steal your enthusiasm, because what's happening is not really what's happening. God is doing a new thing in your life. But trust me, those of you that may be dealing with anything, God will so fix your heart until the thing that you cried because you lost you will cry if they try to bring it back. Let me talk to this side over here, because that side over there not listening to me. Did y'all hear what I just said? That thing that you cried about, that you laid out in the floor about, because they took it away, God will so bless you with better that if they try to bring it back, I feel like I got some witnesses today that said, preacher, you talking about me right now, because there are some things that I cried yesterday that today I cry tears of joy that God removed from my life. Had I informed you that you were an heir of the Tesla guy, what's his name? Elon Musk. If had I told you that you were an heir of Elon Musk, you would have gotten up, you would have run across the field, you would have been excited. But I stood here and told you that you are an heir of God, and you didn't move. I don't understand that. You are an heir of the creator of the cosmos. You ought to be excited that you are an heir of God. I remember when I was in the third grade. When I was in the third grade, you know, sometimes we have to put on for the city. When you don't want to be in school anyway, you have to put on for the city. So you have to exaggerate for effect, right? So I went to the office and I called my mother. And I said, Mama, they're messing with me down here. My mother came to the school with her wig on backwards. My mother came to the school with her wig on backwards. Why? Because somebody is messing with my child. Well, if my mother will respond like that, and you will respond like that for your child, what do you think your father will respond when his children are in trouble? What I'm trying to get you to see is that when your father responds, oh, I wish I had somebody in here. I may not be able to defeat you, devil, but you wait until my daddy shows up. I may not be able to handle this diagnosis, but you wait until my daddy shows up. Is there anybody in here that knows when your father shows up, change has to come?